All right, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. You know what we do on this channel? We talk prospects, and we also talk ways that the Detroit Lions can get better. So if you like the channel and you like what we're doing over here, make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, because I got a prospect for you on today, and I'm gonna talk about quarterback Hendon Hooker. If you have saw this guy on my channel, I talked about him a couple times on my channel, and definitely, man, I love everything about this kid's game. And only reason why I'm going to talk about him on today, because I definitely think that the Lions could add him to the roster as a developmental quarterback that they can bring in. Now, I know. I'm going to pump my brakes for a second, because I know I'm saying a lot, because I know I'm going to get the heat and the smoke from all the fans saying, what are you doing? You know we need to draft defense, and we're probably going to go, every single player is going to go, we're going to go defense. I think the Lions might have 7 or 8 picks, something like that. And it's a possibility they could take all defensive guys. But, you know, I just want to talk about the quarterback position because, and I'm not talking about the quarterback position just to talk about it. I'm not saying like the guy needs to come in and take Jared Goff's spot. But what I am saying is you need to be thinking about the future. And Hendon Hooker, man, definitely, man, played lights out football yesterday against the Alabama Crimson Tide. You know that Alabama is definitely a well-oiled machine, and pretty much, man, Hendon Hooker gave these guys the business. Hendon Hooker had 5 touchdown passes, and I got to talk about Bryce Young too, because Bryce Young also had a good game. I think he passed for like 52 times in the game. Bryce Young had like over 450, I believe, 50-something yards passing. Man, so he was throwing that thing too. But Hendon Hooker, man, definitely, man, he's that guy right now that you got your eyes on. You know, great win against the Alabama Crimson Tide. They haven't beat Alabama, I believe, since 2006 was the last time that the Tennessee Volunteers beat Alabama. So great victory for Hendon Hooker, leading those guys, tossing 5 touchdown passes, throwing for 385 yards, and I think he had 1 interception. And I think that's his first interception on the season. So pretty much Hendon Hooker has been lights out for Tennessee, and this is a quarterback that I've been liking for the past couple seasons, and I thought that this would be a guy that you can take and develop. Now, to me, the guy definitely shows the skill set of being a natural leader. He has a live NFL arm, has a great arm, has a cannon for an arm, should I say. He has good accuracy overall, has great size for an NFL quarterback, standing at 6'4", 220 pounds. A really smart guy, really smart player, high character guy, which you know Detroit Lions love. They love high character guys, and he is definitely that. Could be used in the RPO as well, and only uses his leg when he needs to. And that's what some things that you definitely want in Detroit. I think, to me personally, I think that Detroit kind of need to look for something a little bit different from what they had and from the norm. And Detroit has always had pocket passers. Now, they've had a few guys that can be mobile in the pocket, guys like Dante Culpepper, John Kitna, Jeff Garcia. They've had a couple guys that can move around in the pocket. Rodney Peete back in the days, Charlie Batch a little bit. But at the same time, you know, the NFL is going in a different direction. And I know a lot of people is just saying, you know, why are you talking about the quarterback right now when our defense is 32nd ranked in the NFL right now? And the only reason I'm talking about it is because I think that we still can get a guy to develop. And definitely, I think that Hendon Hooker is either going to be in the first round or he's going to be somewhere between the first or the third round. And the only reason why I'm saying it, the only thing that's stopping him really from being probably, I don't know, nothing is really stopping him. I'm going to just put it like that. Nothing is really stopping him. But if the NFL scouts grade him, it's going to be on his age. Hendon Hooker is 24 years old, and when the draft goes on next season, he'll be 25 years old. So Pretty much he is a little bit older quarterback, and most of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now is currently around that age, around 25, 24-ish. And we're talking about some of the greats right now. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Some of these guys are young. Jared Goff, I believe, 26. So a lot of these guys are still young. But definitely, man, I think that Hendon Hooker will be a great quarterback to sit behind Jared Goff, to develop, and possibly could lead your team in the future. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, we need to be thinking about defense, and that's true, and I agree with all of you guys. We definitely need to be thinking about the defense, because the defense is horrible, and it needs to get better, and we need some impactful players on the defensive side of the ball. I totally agree with everything you got to say when it comes to the defense. I will not argue against that at all. But I definitely, if the Lions don't take all defense and they decide to grab a quarterback, hey, Hendon Hooker is definitely one of those guys that you can grab. If you don't grab a Bryce, if you're not in the top 5, and you don't grab a Bryce Young or a Will Levis or maybe a C.J. Stroud, Hendon Hooker has been box office this season, and I can't wait to see how Tennessee is going to finish their season, because I believe that he could win the Heisman this season. But everything is going to be predicated on what he does from this game, from the Alabama game all the way to the end of the season, and maybe even a bowl game if they get into the playoffs. So I would definitely keep my eyes on this guy if I'm the Detroit Lions, because you desperately do need a young quarterback back there. I know that they got Nate Sewfield on the team and they got Tim Boyle on the practice squad, but I just wanted to just put something out there and just talk to the fans and just say, look out for this kid, Hendon Hooker. He's nice. And I know if you guys watched the Alabama game yesterday, you saw how nice this guy was with the football and how he led his team to ultimately finally beat Alabama. So that was a huge thing for him. But I definitely think he could be a good QB candidate to be developed by the Lions. But when you're looking at his projection, he's projected to be somewhere between the first round and the third round. He's going to be somewhere in the lines of that. So I can't wait to see, man, what this kid is going to bring for the rest of the season. Great game by him against Alabama. Now you got to continue to win to try to get your team into the postseason. That's the biggest thing. And if you can get to the postseason and you can do some damage in the postseason, this guy draft stock is going to go crazy. It's going to go bananas, because a lot of people are going to be looking at him. He has everything that you want in a quarterback. He has the NFL size. He has a cannon of an arm. He can fling that football, man. And imagine having a quarterback like this to develop sitting behind Jared Goff. Imagine that, man. A guy that can also use his legs. A guy that can, deliver that deep ball to Jameson Williams. A guy that would sit behind Jared Goff and probably be ready to soak everything up. So I definitely think that he would be a great candidate and a good prospect if the Lions decide to pick up a quarterback in this draft. Now, maybe the Lions may not take a quarterback in this draft. I don't know what they're going to do. But I just want to put it out there to the fan base about Hendon Hooker, let you guys know that this guy is a class act. This guy is very mature. This guy is a natural leader. This guy has a great arm. This guy has good accuracy overall with the football. He can get the ball there to the receivers, whether it be on intermediate routes, short routes, or even the deep ball as well. He can do it all. And then he can also be used in a way to show his skill set in the RPO if need be. So definitely, man, I think that the Detroit Lions should think about possibly, if they don't sign another free agent quarterback to come back next season, to think about a guy that they could possibly develop, and a guy that has a high character, a guy that has a rocket for an arm, a guy that has every quality in a quarterback that you look for on Sundays. Hendon Hooker is definitely the real deal. And I've been talking about this kid for a long time. And I just want to give him, I want to give him his flowers on today, because the dude been balling. And shout out to him, and definitely to his family and everything, because I know they're proud of him as well. And this dude is definitely going to be, if he keeps balling like this, he's definitely going to be one of the top quarterbacks taken. Never know. He could even be the number 1 quarterback taken. So you never know coming into a season who's going to be the quarterback that's going to be taken. Right now projected is Bryce Young to be the #1 quarterback taken off the board. And Bryce Young did have a great game against Tennessee. He threw for 400 plus yards. So he did his thing as well. So I can't hate on Bryce Young at all. Only thing you can say about Bryce Young is that Bryce Young is a little bit shorter. He's about 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot. And then you have Hendon Hooker, who's 6'4". And then I believe you got C.J. Stroud, who's about 6'3". And then I think Will Levis is about 6'3" as well. So all those guys right there got size. Hendon Hooker has the size that you're looking for in a quarterback. And this is something that Detroit can desperately, this is something that Detroit needs to just keep a note of. Keep an eye on this quarterback, because I definitely think that he's a guy that they can develop, a guy that would be able to lead the charge for the future for the Lions if they decided to go his way. But the Lions, they don't have to go with the quarterback, but I'm just having a conversation with you guys. So let me know, guys, in the comment section, if you've seen Hendon Hooker play against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let me know in the comment section, or if you saw any of his film, or you saw any of his highlights, or you saw anything about this quarterback. Put it down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Hendon Hooker, because that was a great performance, man. Alabama doesn't lose a lot of football games, and for them to lose yesterday, because they could have won that game yesterday, but they ended up missing a field goal. So pretty much Tennessee ended up hitting their field goal, ultimately winning the football game, and that stadium was rocking. That stadium was rocking so much that the fans tore down the goalposts. So that boy was rocking. So shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers for beating Alabama, because we know that they are the big dogs. So, all right, guys, make sure you subscribe to Raw Detroit, because on here we talk prospects and we also talk Detroit Lions. I'm out of here. Till next time. Peace.